Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are accidentally playing a hardcore soldier, and we're on our way to Burrwitch village. In fact, we are on the outskirts of Burrwitch already, and we just needed a couple more kills to hit level 15. So, let's level up. So, as always, we're gonna spend at least 1 point to advance. We have a field command to pick up, which is gonna be our first maintained ability. It looks like a really modest boost at lower levels, but at higher levels it might become interesting. We shall see. And I think we'll just spend the other point to advance our class here. And we're gonna spend this on Physique, just boosting that life and regen a little bit. And then let's switch our bar using the Y button to the secondary bar, which I tend to use for all my activated abilities, because you just cast them once and then you forget about them. So, in the last episode we ended with the blacksmith unlocked, so we can now craft things. So in between episodes, of course, I went over all the items and ended up getting myself a new medal, because starting from level 14 you can actually equip medals. And we put a wardstone in our amulet. So the wardstone gives us elemental resistance and bleeding resistance, which is pretty decent. We have a hollowed fang in our weapon, a battered shell in our shield for some extra block chance, which is pretty nice. We got some extra bristly furs for health. And in terms of socketing, that's kind of it. Everything else is still unsocketed. And this is nice for additional lightning and poison resistance. So currently our poison resistance is actually maxed out, which is kind of nice. Since we have a couple of items that give us quite a bit of poison resistance, I figured getting some extra poison resistance on the medal would make it easier to swap some other things out, because we're currently over resisting the poison. So I wouldn't feel the loss of it as hard as we would for other things. Because eventually most of the gear will get replaced with something better. At least that's my hope. Arbagol the Shank. Well, we can always knock him back with Blitz. You got a flickering strike. Cool. Just deal with the add-ons. Oh, we of course have our war shouts over shields of Overguard. We have blood drinker for some extra blood drinky things. And then of course the boss killed over. So Blitz did kill the Shami in one single hit, which is nice. This guy wasn't less impressed. Following up with a force wave, he did finish the job though. So I'm approaching Burrwitch via this west side here to find the bosses for Flesh and Iron. Since memory serves me correctly, we have to be on the western entrance, and this is also nice. A northern strongbox. That's what you get for taking a detour. Yeah, Mouldering Fields. This is where I think we'll face another double epic boss fight by design, rather than by accident. So we'll see how that works out. See how are we in terms of resist, or in terms of reflection? We're doing pretty decently. No, we're not really heavily focusing on reflection yet, we just managed to pick up a little bit. But in melee things die, but ranged mobs still don't do anything. And I think we need reflection for that, rather than simple retaliation. So the moment we get some of that, we will do this test again and we'll just see how it works out. And there they are. Hagra the Tormented. Also they got backup of a ether cluster. Okay, let's do some blood sucking over here. can't say I'm overly impressed with the bloodsucking just yet. Okay, that was the war cry shout thing.
I can't do that yet.
Right, and this is that, and then we got a corruption over there. Kriegscleaver. And a tainted brain. So this is a crafting material that's going to be very useful. 8.3% life per second. Oh, yes please. Do we want to give up the poison damage for that? Yeah, I think so. It's a slight DPS drop. 10 DPS, that's not so bad. Something's trying to murder us, but completely failing at it, and it's actually just suiciding here. Okay. Ah, this zombie suicided into us. And how was this? Ooh, that's a lot of armor. Yeah, the other one, the defenses we give up are so low that we do want the armor. Weapon, green belt. Less armor, we gain some basic stats. Worth considering. Not entirely convinced yet, but worth considering. And this is alternative mighty infantry breaches of the eagle. A lot of base stats, which I think in the long run is probably going to be better. Just a boost to DPS, it's a boost to life, yep, 50 extra life. Better boots, lightning resistance. But we need to take out some of the bristly first, so we'll defer that until later. And of course, Kriegscleaver, what does it do? Currently, keep in mind we have the hollowed fang in if you hold control. Then you can compare it without the item socketed in. That's a pretty nice trick to remember in case you want to compare things. But in this case we will lose damage. This is the same level, but we lose damage. We have a 5% chance to gain 104% of the attack damage converted into health. Okay, so that's on average is 5%, but it's going to be relatively uneven and spiky. I'm not convinced. I think it's not going to be all that great for us. Okay, we move on. Anything over here? Ooh, Ornette is just... That's nice. Salvage gloves. That's also potentially better. Again, we have something socketed, so we can't just outright upgrade it, because we will lose some health that way. Take out the crystal first, because crystals can hurt. And most of the time, if you kill the crystal, you kill the zombies. Okay, so Grobels are on the road. We are not on the road. Therefore, we don't have to deal with the Grobels. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of them. Warcry. That's kind of satisfying. Very happy that one is working out rather well. Okay, put some Overguard up to boost our natural life regeneration a bit. So, Witch Doctor that's been killed. Any more Witch Doctors? Yeah, over here. Okay, so you are ranged. Let's kill you. So a bit of feedback I got on the build is that if I'm looking to dual class, it might be interesting to pick up the, the Demolitionist. Because you got a Vindictive Flame over here, which is a toggled ability that retaliates in melee against mobs that attack you. But if you upgrade it with Ulzuin's Wrath, yeah, that's a bit of a tongue twister. It has a chance to, or then it will actually retaliate against ranged attackers. So you gain ranged damage reflection, which is interesting. Though the thing is, there's already a lot of interesting skills to pick in the soldier class. And if I want to get those to reasonable levels, we're probably looking at the mid-60s in terms of level before multiclassing becomes a reasonable choice. Because now keep in mind, if you're gonna go demolitionist, it's 10 points until we have a vindictive flame. So that's gonna be 4 levels basically before we can assign a point here. And then this is 20. So that's 7 levels before we can actually get just 1 point into each of these, which is a bit much. It would mean we delay other interesting abilities as well. So for now I'll be focusing on the soldier. Depending on if ranged mobs prove to be a big problem or not, we can always fall back on picking the demolitionist. Or if we just need more stats points, then no, going with the demolitionist. Just to boost our basic stats to get ourselves more physique to equip items, things like that. Because armor really gets pretty heavy on the physique demands. So that is an option that is in the back of my mind. But right now, we're not focusing on it just yet. But it is becoming clear that the demolitionist definitely has some interesting build options as well, if you want to do a defensive build. So I believe that blast shield is also rather defensive in nature. And it acts more like a damage shield. Trapdoor here, but let's deal with the portal first. Hello. Oh no, it's swarming with enemies. What will I do? What will I do? So let's put some overguard up. Okay, next wave. Give me the scrap. I want the scrap. So I have to say, combination of all the AoE attacks we have is proved to be reasonably okay. You are a bit annoying. Okay, now there's 2 epics here, that's gonna be interesting. Let's withdraw a little bit to where we came from. Glacierborn, yeah, it's gonna be cold-natured. Let's keep Overguard up. And Aldenar the Undying, well, let's see if they're willing to follow us.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, so the Glacierborn is easiest to deal with. Let's put some damage reflection. Oh, well, not reflection, but the blood drinking thing. So the regular mobs are more or less just killing themselves here. And we have a Plague War. I think we got things under control again. We'll just pick up the loot while the mobs kill themselves. That's a pretty convenient way of completing quests. So let's have a bit of a chat with Hammond, because we killed the 2 uniques for him. It was gruesome and bloody, just the way I like it. So he really gets off on that kind of thing. Not judging, just collecting rewards. Okay, so we filtered through most of this. And I'm just selling blues I'm not using, because, well, we can use the money for some crafting and such. Seems like a decent way to spend the money. Yeah. Not using totems, not using guns. This is low damage. This one is not that great. No abilities. Oh, interesting. So we can exchange 15 vitality resistance for a bunch of pierce and lightning resistance, and as well as physique and cunning. So yes, please. Not good enough. 2-hander, level 18, and it's not even a damage upgrade. So let's sell it. 2-hander, we don't use 2-handers. 1-handed, this is... we lose damage, but we gain +2 to force wave. Which means it will stun longer. It inflicts guaranteed internal trauma over 5 seconds. And it's more than what the other attack does. The other one has 10% chance to do 140 damage. This is just always 40. So it's 14 versus 40. That's quite an increase. As well as boosting just internal damage, and it boosts poison even though it doesn't inflict poison, which is interesting. How does Force Wave scale? Let's have a quick look at that. So the next level, it does more damage, just a larger percentage of our main hand attack. So 2 levels is going to boost us by about 15%, I think. It's going to be about level 90%, that's decent. Stun length is going to go up, base physical damage is going to go up. That's not bad, actually. And this is a slow weapon rather than a fast weapon. So that means that our single hit attacks with a cooldown will inflict more damage. I think I like this. I think we'll actually keep this. It's level 18, so it's gonna last a while before we can use it. This is not really that useful. Oh, I no longer have the vendor open. That kind of makes it difficult to sell something. And we have some crafting materials. This says 3% life leech on it. It's annoying that we don't have enough money. But we'll see. Okay, and then we can report back to John Bourbon that we have secured a portal.
Have you found a rift gate? Good work. There have been Warden Creep.
So let's look for the Warden. We still are only tolerated. We are almost at a better state with these guys. Okay, let's go back to where we came from. Since we do have quite some time to kill still, we can look for the apprentice. And I think the apprentice lived quite, well, lived is just hidden, quite a bit into the direction of where the Warden is going to be. So we can basically just push forward, which is going to be convenient.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, let's charge in. Charge in some more.
Can't do that yet.
Works pretty well. Combination of AoEs, Warcry. We actually got that guy still. Surprised by that. Didn't think we would reach that far. Now, in addition to doing quite some damage, we also debuff the opponents. I think we lower their defenses a bit, so they become easier to hit, easier to crit, things like that. Which is pretty convenient for us. So looking for the apprentice is going to be our first priority here. But no, there's a couple of other side quests in the area that we might as well do. Is it already where the Harvey the Drifter? Yeah, where that guy is. He grants us access to a whole side area. Well, not technically him, but he gives the clue to a whole side area, which is an interesting enough dungeon to run. I believe the challenge level was reasonable as well for that, so that's always nice. Hello there, Harvey. Hello, how are you today? Oh no, you broke the door. Oh no, the rotten walkers are gonna hear you. They're gonna find little Walter and me. Let's see. So have you been here the whole time? Yeah, they all called me crazy, but he had to hide. So he went back to town because, of course, nobody expects him to go back to town. What can you tell me about the area? Then Harvey hides in the passage under the bridge. Thank you for that. Technically, you don't need to speak with him, but no, it is kind of a courtesy to speak with the NPC before you go into a secret area. That said, I think we are slightly on the wrong side of things here. So I believe this is a bit of a dead-end area where that doesn't really have anything going for it, but let's just double check that. Oh, there is
Skill's not ready.
an epic here. That's kind of makes it useful now, suddenly. Corrupted. Okay, you do some damage over time. I don't think I like that. Okay. We can do knockback. Oh, let's take out the casters around you. That's might be a better idea. You.
I can't do that yet.
Okay, we have a force wave. Overguard. So let's get out of the stuff on the floor. And we kill the hero. Okay. And then we pick up the loot. Breastplate of the Flesh Hulk. That looks green. 105 armor, pierce resistance, stun duration, reduction and extra physical damage. Let's pick it up. We lose out on some pierce and lightning resistance, but we do gain armor, which is good against physical damage, which is rather everywhere. And this is just not really good in terms of gear. Okay. And let's see, we spent 11 points here. Let's spend another spirit. Oh, just keeping it a little bit in balance. See, this is always a bit of a dead end. There seems to be no strict purpose to it. Though finding that Naga boss over there, or the Slith boss, seems useful. Or is this just a backdoor into the warden's house? Because that's kind of where we are around the corner from. Ah, there we find the apprentice. Good, good. It's all close together here. Very great. Right, some iron bits, always good. Some rift hounds. But this doesn't seem like a bad direction to approach this then. Because normally I come from the streets on the other side, and then you speak with Harvey through the walls, because you can actually speak with Harvey from the other side of the walls. So I think he's always distraught over you ruining the door, even if you don't actually ruin the door. But I might be misremembering that. So down here we're looking for the apprentice, who is here somewhere. We're gonna extract her via portal, because that's kind of a secret special superpower. We can create portals while no one else can, and it's kind of a tactical advantage. I mean, that's the whole reason why we are the hero, because we are the portal people, portal man and or woman. Okay, yeah, and indeed, I'm remembering correctly, we have to be to the bottom here. Warcry, that's always going to be interesting as well with the taunting. Overguard for some extra blocking, and then some health regen that kicks in. Definitely useful to focus more on health regen, boosting Overguard by a couple more points to make it even better. You, why are you shooting at me? What have I done to you? Well, besides killing all your buddies, but who's keeping track of that? No one, really, right? So boosted this by 2 points, then boost something else. Let's see, we got these at 3. Cadence is just at 1. Let's see, Menhir's Will, that's just a panic button. That's not going to be overly relevant just yet. Better to just boost the things that are sustaining our defense in a more reliable manner. This is... It is going to increase our health regen while it's up, increase the absorption while it's up. On the other hand, no, there's so many nice things to boost. I think I'll just raise these two at the same time, just 1 point each, since extra block chance is just going to be useful all the time. While Overguard is also useful, and they do synergize a little bit, because they're both just defensive buffs. Level 18, that's 2 levels above me. We can handle it. Perfect lineup here for Blade Arc. And you can shoot all you want. It's not really gonna help you. And then there is a apprentice. Hello there, Darlet. Okay, you have been safeguarded. And that means we can now extract components from our gear. So these boots that we wanted to shuffle out of, we can now actually destroy the boots to preserve the material. Or in reverse. Also, there are some mobs up there, so might as well murder them. It's still getting used to the fact that we're knocking them down and that they're not dead when they get knocked down. That this is the first build where I actually have knockdown as a mechanic that's available. And it's still slightly confusing, since it's really hard to tell if they're dead or just taking a bit of a break. There's something with stone here. Okay. Apparently that's just indication of the graphic. Not that there's actually something interesting going on, but there's an untouched meal over to the side. Ah, yes, here, crumbling wall. With some treasure box and a person. It's always good to loot these things. So how are we doing in terms of gear? Nothing truly interesting, so that's okay. So let's get out of here. Oh, desecrated shrine, that's convenient. Let's clear things a little bit here. Let's put up Overguard, do some blitzing here. Another war cry. Okay. Clear. Oh, a couple more. You are rather tanky. And you were not. Final one. Okay. That's a great shrine. Let's go. Okay. A flash warp butcher. We can deal with that. Waiting for something that's slightly scarier. Ethereal Wraith. Does magic damage of some sort, probably ethereal damage, so technically more difficult to deal with.
That skill's not
These meleers are okay, because they do mostly physical damage, I think. We're trying to get a bit tankier towards that. Ooh, Molten Walkers and restored the shrine. So this is more armor, that's good. We get some fire resistance, that's good, because that's still pretty low. We gain +2 to Blackwater Cocktail, which is a demolitionist skill that we don't actually have any use for. But this is an upgrade. And it's the same armor as the boots that we were about to equip. This is even less armor, so we found a better upgrade. Okay, so for next episode we can do Harvey's thing. Actually, maybe we should just grab the waypoint, then at least we have the warden. So let's do that, then we go to town and round up our quests. So next episode we have Harvey the Drifter, who sends us to a super secret hiding place which I believe is not terribly rich in terms of loot, but there's bound to be some, and it's just nice to do. There is another quest, also somewhere in town, I think near the waypoint somewhere, where if we're lucky we can find one of the town people that is secretly conspiring with the cultist, or used to be a cultist and then they got out or something along those lines.
Do that yet.
Bit of a person of dubious nature that we have the potential to expose if we want. And depending on if we do that or not, there's going to be some benefits to it, including being able to get a guaranteed key for the cultist's lair next to the underground passage.
That skill's not ready.
Or the flooded passage, how it is. I think I keep calling it underground passage, but technically it's the flooded passage. Okay, a bunch of these burning, shooting zombie things. I have to say, slightly annoying because they don't take reflected damage, of course, being spellcasters. Let's see, we've cleared everything on the downstairs, so we go up. So, war cry, useful, just to do some more damage. Force wave, definitely useful to just hit him at a bit of range. Overguard, put that up. Okay, I think I'm just gonna drink a potion there. I mean, the damage is slow and sustained, so no, we're not in any immediate risk, but yeah, never wanna take too many chances when it comes to your health. Ooh, scrap. Useful. Okay, final bit. Okay, so these are 14, 14, 15. It's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of level, but I guess because it's a lot of them lower level makes sense, because then you really just get the overwhelming numbers without them being too difficult. So, Warden's Cellar, which is it for now. Of course, over here we have a very happy Darlet. Welcome and thanks, which is more reputation. Man, they still don't like us.
Take a look, shall we?
But we can extract stuff. So, lore XP, and we get some items. Let's just double check before we start ripping things out. Anything that's better. No, this basically is what we were looking at. Cool. So, new boots, and then we can rip these out. So, take this, and then we keep the add-on. Grab the bristly fur, which we can add to the new boots, and then we equip the set of new boots, and ooh, look at those burn. In terms of stats, this is probably going to be decent, right? How is our damage output going to be? +4, but we lose some armor. The interesting thing, a belt applies its armor to all your armor slots. Oh, what life? That's 50 life. Armor, life, armor. Okay, the fact that that's epic just wins out. We'll use that as a tiebreaker. This is not going to be useful. Gloves. Yeah, this is an upgrade, but we just need to take the bristly fur out and reapply it here. Ta-ta.
You safe out there?
Okay. Then
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
I think we have made pretty decent progress for this episode. Gained some crafting materials, gained a little bit of money. I think we started with 500, so we gained nearly 5,500. Or just over that, actually. Green shield, again, no abilities, so meh. But over time, we will start running into more and more interesting items.
Good use.
The green ones, of course, being interesting if there are no blue ones available. But the base items are getting quite a bit better. Higher chance to block, they block more damage. This one actually has more block recovery, so it blocks. It takes longer in between blocks. That's a bit of a downside. So there's interesting trade-offs there for all the items. But I think that's gonna be it for now. So next episode we're gonna have a look at Harvey's secret hideout. And I believe we also have a quest for the widow who wants some cloth. And after that we're gonna head for the warden. So thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.